Hello, cool people. It is officially the last day of the 5 Fall Favorites book recommendation party. So today I decided to do something a little bit different. The last genre is my 5 top favorite books for the whole entire year of 2018. Obviously it's not the end yet, so it might change if I find a really great book before the end of the year. It was really hard to choose just because I kept thinking of new ones and that I had read and just like, oh, I really love that one. So I basically just ended up choosing 5 that I really liked this year that I haven't mentioned yet. So here they are. Yes. Wisp, Beautiful Blue World, Threads of Blue, its sequel. Through All Things, actually the first one in this series, but I obviously don't own a copy of it yet, so I couldn't find the first one. But it is Under Their Skin, and then Liar and Spy. And if you were counting, that was 6, because I could not decide between these two. I couldn't just mention the first one without the second one, because I just recently read that this year for my birthday. So I just had to mention both, and we'll just pretend that's 5. Yes, I do have a tiny bit of a cold, so sorry if my voice is annoying you. First off, we have this sweet little short story. Okay, this was written by my brother for a college class, and then we all just adored it so much we convinced him to publish it as an ebook. It is very pro-life and adoption. It's about this old couple that adopts a sweet little girl with health issues. It's actually not set back when that happened. It's set in the future, like after that, with the old man remembering back to then. So kind of like flashbacks from then to now. It's very adorable and can get pretty sad, so make sure you have your Kleenex for this one. We have these 2 gems, Beautiful Blue World and Threads of Blue. And these covers are just absolutely gorgeous. And they even mean so much more when you've read the story and know the things on the front, how they go with it and everything is just amazing. You can see my super fangirly review of Beautiful Blue World. I think I left a link to it in the military books post, so I'll also leave a link in this post. But you super need to go read both of these books, and I'm counting this as one book recommendation for the year. They're just amazing. They're actually kind of fantasy, but I think of them more as like set during World War II, but in a different world, kind of like. But it very much feels just like small town, home front kind of thing, but also doing totally like in the war effort and that kind of thing. There's even in Threads of Blue, the children. I can't give too much away. It's terrible. So they're just the sweetest gems, and you need to read them, and I don't know how to convince you. You just have to. The main character is an amazing person, and the names of places are very cool, and the message of the books are just priceless, and I'll never be the same since reading them. My third book of my top 5 for this year is this one right here. Through All Things by Malachi Sear, with a gorgeously thick spine. It's just like amazing, and a beautiful cover that totally goes with the story when you read it. It's like, what? This book, I don't know, you just have to read it. I was part of the blog tour earlier this year. I got to interview the characters, and that was just the coolest thing. And you have to go read that interview to get a feel for the book. This is set during the French and Indian War. Loved ones must be rescued. His brothers depend on him for survival. The trail behind is already stained with pain and loss. And boy, howdy is it. This is a book full of hard things handled very well, with a very unforgettable message. You just need to go read it. This is Through All Things by Malachi Sear. And guys, I'm just pretending that these are beautiful fall leaves. Okay, just pretend with me here. 4 is actually not this book. It is the first book in this duology. I actually enjoyed the whole duology, but I super loved the first book more than this book. But this was the only one I could find at our library. I don't know if we just recently returned the first one, so they don't have it on the shelves yet or what, but I super loved the first book of this duology. It is science fiction, the whole premise, I can't really say anything about it because it'll give away huge spoilers, but basically it's these kids who find out, just these normal kids, right? And they find out nothing is as it seems. And right, that sounds really cliche, but this book was so not cliche. And then the sequel, In Over Their Heads, and guys, these titles are just out of the world awesome. The sequel was really great too, a good follow-up on the cliffhangers of the first one. It almost felt like a repeat of the first one because the first one was so great. But it was a really good, tied up the story really well, too. So you need to go read Under Their Skin, which means crazy, amazing things once you read the story, and In Over Their Heads. These are by Margaret Peterson Haddix. This is the 5th book in my top 5 favorite books for 2018. Liar and Spy, and I totally just showed them. Liar and Spy, it's just so good. It's a middle grade book written by Rebecca Stead, and it is just like this sweet, thing. This kid and his dad move into a new apartment building, and he gets to know this other kid super into detective stuff. Not that that's weird, he's just like socially awkward. And it's just like life, school, fortunately they didn't move too far from where they lived before, so it's not like big changes like that. I just love the relationship between him and his dad in this book. His dad's really busy at work and stuff a lot of the time, but walk down to their favorite little restaurant and just talk. Like, his dad is so sweet. He sits down and he says, "Tell me things." I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. And the main character has different responses throughout the book, but it's just like this theme. Sometimes he like spills his heart out of what's going on. And sometimes, like in the down point, especially in the down point, he's like, I don't really have anything to say, kind of thing. But the relationships in this book are just the best. His mom is on, I can't remember what it's called, like night shift or whatever at the hospital. She's just like, basically when he's at school, she's at home sleeping, and when he's awake, I said that totally wrong. But anyway, she's like never home for waking hours, but she leaves messages for him in Scrabble tiles on his desk in his room. And so it's just very sweet like that. And then you end up finding out near the end that things are not as they seem at all, which I cannot talk about because that would give away so much. But this book is so great and you need to read it. Liar and Spy by Rebecca Stead. It's just spectacular, and I loved it from the moment I finished it. These are my top 5 favorite books for 2018. Wisp by Paul Willis, Beautiful Blue World by Suzanne Lefleur, however you say it, Through All Things by Malachi Sear, and Under Their Skin, In Over Their Heads by Margaret Peterson Haddix, and Liar and Spy by Rebecca Stead. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I hope you've been enjoying this 5 Fall Favorites party. It's been really fun to recommend my favorite books to you and talk about your favorite books too. Happy autumn reading, you guys, and the lighting out here is super dark, so sorry about that. But we went to the library so I could get some of these books to show you for the video, which was super fun. I also got a huge stack of books I need to read, like none of which were any of the ones recommended during this party, which means I'm gonna have even a ton more to read. So happy, huge to-read piles, and happy autumn, and tell me what your top 5 favorite books for this year are, if you can even choose.